जो फर्स्ट टाइम एम्प्लॉयर्स हैं उनको 15,000 सैलरी दी जाएगी। तो मेरे हिसाब से जो फर्स्ट टाइमर आ रहे हैं उनको करियर ऑप्शन एंड पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू और सोचने के लिए और मिल सकता है।
अब कोई बंदा 15 लाख प्लस का इनकम जनरेट कर रहा है, इसके बाद 30% वो टैक्स में दे रहा है, तो फिर कमा किस लिए रहा है?
There are many students who just wants to study. If they want to, then they can pursue for it because it's a good deal. And honestly, in my opinion, it's a pretty good deal.
विपक्ष को खुश करने के लिए ये बजट नहीं आया, ये बजट आया आम जनता के लिए। और विपक्ष का क्या, कभी भी कितने सालों में देख लो, कभी विपक्ष ने किसी भी बजट को अच्छा बताया है?
कहीं ना कहीं अपोजिशन की बात सच लगती है, क्योंकि आप टोटल बजट देख लीजिएगा तो जिसमें से 47,000 करोड़ और फिर से 15,000 करोड़ इन्होंने इन दो स्टेट को दे दिया है।
With joblessness, inflation and the pressure from the allied partners, the union budget of Modi 3.0 seems to have covered all the bases to ensure that the current coalition government can run smoothly for the next 5 years, even as the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has yet again skipped any major relief to bring the income tax relief for the middle class. You can of course see the income tax slab on our screen. Nirmala Sitharaman of course produced this budget for Modi 3.2, considering that only 8 months from here on, the next big budget is going to come. If we talk about the big gains BJP allied partners JDU and TDP have made from the budget. It includes a substantial package for rupees 47,400 crore for Bihar and rupees 15,000 crore for Andhra Pradesh. You can of course see on your screen the number of visits made by Chandrababu Naidu, the Andhra Pradesh CM, seeking the support from Prime Minister Narendra Modi, which has paid him rich dividends since the formation of the government. Naidu has met Prime Minister Modi, JP Nadda, Nirmala Sitharaman, Nitin Gadkari and Amit Shah. Of course, this played a vital role in what you see today in the budget allocation for these two states. I must also tell you that if we look at now the income tax slab, which is the second big takeaway from the budget, nothing major has come for the middle class or those who were hoping to get anything big. In the budget, Finance Minister has just revised the income tax slab for this financial year with minor tweaks. 0 to 3 lakh, nil. 3 to 7 lakh, 5%. 7 to 10 lakh, of course, 10%. 10 to 12 lakh, of course, 15%. And 12 to 15 lakh, yet again 20%. Which means above 15 lakh, you go back to the same bracket, 13%, no major relief. And the only saving that you're going to make from this budget is 17,500. It's a joke. It's a cruel joke on all of us. Now, I mean, of course, overall, a middle class salaried is not going to be very happy with whatever has happened. But let me tell you that the standard deduction, the tweak that I'm talking about, is only going to be increased from rupees 50,000 to rupees 75,000. For pensioners, deductions of course enhanced from rupees 15,000 to rupees 25,000. But what is concerning for the middle class citizens of India is the amount of capital gain tax one has to pay on both short term as well as long term investments in stocks, real estate or mutual funds. You can of course see the draconian formula that this capital gain tax is going to cost on us. Whether this new budget announcement on LTCG or real estate would help the seller or not is a matter of further scrutiny. But here's what the tax experts have to say and tell us on what this big crisis over the LTCG or the STCG is going to be looking like. STCG will attract now 20% instead of 15%. LTCG, long-term capital gain, will now attract 12.5% instead of 10%.
If we talk about capital gain tax, that too is on real estate decreased. But so how do you think that is going to affect it?
It is not like that. The people will not stop buying that because even in the stock buying things, you can see that the multiple sector, if they feel that in this sector will, though the capital gain will decrease, but the multiplicity will increase, then they will have a faith that because various steps has been taken by the government to boost the real estate sector. give confidence in the private sector to invest in that, even through either through RERA or either through MSME protection, all these things. The consumer behavior has changed and confidence has increased, that you know, if I am investing in particular real estate sector stock, then they will deliver, and if faith will be there in the market, then it will be increased.
Now, what is further concerning us is the fact that this is not restricted to just stocks, it is also going to enter into the real estate market as well. Your residential and commercial properties are going to cost you, the sale of these properties is going to cost you more. But what is of course incredible about this budget is, at least as far as the youth and the voters, the first time voters are concerned, the creation of jobs, the incentives, the allocation of the special budget, whether it is employment for the salary cap with just rupees 1 lakh.
Direct benefit transfer of 1 month's salary in 3 installments to first time employees as registered in the EPFO will be up to 15,000 rupees. The eligibility limit will be a salary of 1 lakh per month.
5 different schemes. These 5 schemes you must listen to, because when Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced these 5 schemes, they are very crucial for every youth to understand. First scheme is for the first timers, who will be provided 1 month wage. There is 1 month wage to all new persons entering into the workforce in all formal sectors. Second, this scheme is for the job creation in manufacturing, where an incentive will be provided at specified scale directly both to the employee and to the employer with respect to their EPFO contribution in the first 4 years of employment. Third scheme will cover additional employment in all sectors. All additional employment within a salary of rupees 1 lakh per month will also be counted. The government will reimburse to employers up to rupees 3,000 per month for 2 years towards their EPFO contribution for each additional employee. Now, fourth scheme is also very crucial. The fourth scheme is under the Prime Minister's package for skilling, and in collaboration with the state governments and industry. 20 lakh youth, according to this scheme, will be skilled over a 5-year period. But what is most interesting of these 5 schemes is the 5th one. This is where I believe many people are excited, because this is going to provide a comprehensive internship to 1 crore people, 1 crore youth in 500 top companies. I must explain you that the internship formula is also very interesting, that you get provided 5,000 rupees per month for 12 months and additional 6 months, additional 6,000 rupees, beg your pardon, for this scheme as well. And that is where I believe it's the remarkable difference that this budget stands from the rest of the previous budgets in the last few years as well. Now, after some of these new schemes, we at the New Indian also try to reach out to the market, especially the youth, on the new schemes that have been aimed at creating either employment or giving incentives. Let's try to listen into some of these people on what they have to say about these schemes.
एम्प्लॉयमेंट के उससे जो है सरकार ने 5 नई स्कीम्स ऐसी लाई हैं, जिसमें से जो पहली स्कीम है उसका नाम है फर्स्ट टाइमर्स. उसके बारे में आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे, क्या जानते हैं उसके बारे में?
फर्स्ट टाइमर के बारे में मैं ये जानता हूँ कि जो फर्स्ट टाइम एम्प्लॉयर्स हैं उनको 15,000 सैलरी दी जाएगी. तो मेरे हिसाब से जो फर्स्ट टाइमर आ रहे हैं उनको करियर ऑप्शन एंड पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू और सोचने के लिए और मिल सकता है कि वो कहाँ पे अपना वो ऑप्शंस लगा सकते हैं, करियर ऑप्शंस.
और बहुत सारे बच्चे जो अच्छे अच्छे इंस्टीट्यूट से पढ़ रहे हैं वो ऑफकोर्स 15 लाख प्लस का पैकेजेस लेंगे और उनके लिए भाग रहे हैं. अब कोई बंदा 15 लाख प्लस का इनकम जनरेट कर रहा है, इसके बाद 30% वो टैक्स में दे रहा है, तो वो फिर कमा किस ले रहा है? अगर गवर्नमेंट ही चलानी तो वो गवर्नमेंट का नौकर बन के रह गया. तो उसके ऊपर एक फर्स्ट तो रिलीफ सिस्टम होना चाहिए.
अगर हम एजुकेशन की बात करें तो आपको कैसे लगता है कि वो कैसे हमारे यूथ को बेनिफिट करेगा, जितना भी फंड एलोकेट किया गया है एजुकेशन फील्ड में?
Honestly, doesn't like depends on pupils, because there are many students who just wants to study. If they want to, then they can pursue for it, because it's a good deal. And honestly, in my opinion, it's a pretty good deal.
कहीं ना कहीं अपोजिशन की बात सच लगती है, क्योंकि आप टोटल बजट देख लीजिएगा तो जिसमें से 47,000 करोड़ और फिर से 15,000 करोड़ इन्होंने इन दो स्टेट को दे दिया है, जो कि टोटल 62,000 करोड़ हो जाता है। तो कहीं ना कहीं तो ये चीज़ तो है कि इन्होंने दिया है। बाकी ये लोग बोल रहे हैं कि इन्होंने कि डेवलपमेंट के लिए दे रहे हैं, बट कहीं ना कहीं और स्टेट को भी जिसको ज़रूरत है उसको भी देना चाहिए था। और इन्होंने सिर्फ इसी दो चीज़ों को रखा है। निर्मला सीतारमण जी ये बोल रही हैं कि हमने सिर्फ दो को इंडिकेट किया है, बट आप और दो स्टेट को क्यों नहीं इंडिकेट कर दे रही हैं? अगर अपोजिशन चाहता है तो लेट देम क्लियर दिस थिंग।
विपक्ष को खुश करने के लिए ये बजट नहीं आया, ये बजट आया आम जनता के लिए। और विपक्ष का क्या, कभी भी कितने सालों में देख लो, कभी विपक्ष ने किसी भी बजट को अच्छा बताया है? एक आम आदमी को ये देखना है कि जितना फंड आता है उसका कहाँ कहाँ पर इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं। हर काम एक ही साल में या एक ही बजट में नहीं होना। 6 महीने के लिए बजट आया है अभी, एक बात। उसमें दूसरा ये है कि इसमें ना खास ध्यान दिया गया किसानों का, युवाओं का, कि जिससे कि रोज़गार के सृजन हो सके, रोज़गार का सृजन हो सके। फंड का इस्तेमाल करना सरकार को देखनी है सब जनता। और जहाँ तक सवाल इसका है कि भाई उन्होंने 2 राज्यों को दिया है, राज्यों को 2 का जिक्र करा है सिर्फ इन्होंने। बाकी जितना और फंड है, करोड़ों की संख्या में जितना और फंड है, वो सारा बाकी स्टेटों के लिए है। क्या जो भी सुविधाएं दी हैं युवाओं के लिए, किसानों के लिए, वो क्या दो ही स्टेट में किसान है या 2 ही स्टेटों में युवा है?
हम देश की 50% आबादी बनाते हैं और उसके लिए मात्र 3.15% बजट होगा तो वो सफिशिएंट नहीं है, वो बहुत कम है। हम 50% आबादी बनाते हैं तो हमारे लिए बजट भी बढ़ाया जाना चाहिए। 2021 से अगर आप देखेंगे तो लगातार देश के लिए जो किसानों के लिए बजट है वो लगातार घटता जा रहा है।
Now here's another silver lining for the class investors. The Indian government in this budget, and according to speech by Nirmala Sitharaman, she has abolished the angel tax that was once introduced by the Congress government. The angel tax was actually a headache for many startups that were looking to make it big in this competitive economy. The tax used to cut around 30% of the investment of the startups from external investors. Now let's move into one of the most interesting part of the budgets. Of course, this government has always focused on Hindus and the welfare of Hindus as well, even if it's Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas, beg your pardon. The development of Mahabodhi and Vishnupad temples, especially also Rajgir. This is an attempt, seems to be giving support to Odisha and Bihar. Odisha, where BJP government has just come into force, because I believe that tourism and infrastructure development seems to be one of the thrust areas of the Modi government, especially the Prime Minister, which is why he seems to be very keenly focused on some of these initiatives on religious tourism. For the last few years, farmers and their concerns were also dominating the electoral issues. Let me tell you that Centre this year in its budget has allocated rupees 1.52 lakh crore for the agriculture sector in this budget. Of course, the government encourages farmers to adopt natural farmer with this sort of a scheme. It also wants to establish 10,000 need-based bio-input resource centers as well. Now, of course, the fierce opposition has questioned these schemes as well, much like Agniveer. If this is one-time incentive or the jobs would be created as a permanent solution to look after the unemployment in the country. Here's what Rahul Gandhi and Akhilesh Yadav had to say about these schemes as well. Let's take a listen in.
You want to see me? I had invited them inside, so they're not allowing them in.
What is the क्या कहा जा रहा है राहुल जी, क्यों नहीं अलाउ किया जा रहा है?
आप नेता विपक्ष और आप किसान नेताओं से मिलना चाहते हैं, क्या कहा जा रहा है, क्यों नहीं आने दिया जा रहा किसान?
कोई कारण
तो उनको पूछना पड़ेगा। हमने यहाँ इनवाइट किया था अपने ऑफिस में मिलने के लिए, तो यहाँ कहा गया है कि उनको अंदर नहीं आने देंगे, शायद क्योंकि वो किसान है इसलिए यहाँ अंदर अलाउ नहीं कर रहे हैं, तो बाहर मिल लेंगे।
The interesting part, of course, is the next part, that is what has gone cheaper. Custom duties on 3 cancer medicines have been slashed, making them cheaper for the common man. Moreover, medical X-ray machines will also become cheaper this year, according to the budget. But what is bringing more relief and joy to the common man is the reduction of 15% customs duty on mobile phones and the chargers, and also the accessories. Besides that, customs duty on gold and silver has also been slashed by 6%. Now, since we have heard what's gone cheaper, let's try to look into what's gone expensive. The government has increased the custom duties on all plastic products. Non-biodegradable products have been increased by 25%, which is of course a huge increase. And specified telecom equipment will also be expensive from this year, from earlier 10% to 15%. Now, let's try to look at the budget allocation sector-wise. Defense sector gets roughly about 6.54 lakh crore. Rural development gets 2.65 lakh crore. Agriculture sector gets 1.51 lakh crore. Home affairs, internal security gets rupees 1.5 lakh crore. It's the education sector also which has got remarkably 1.25 lakh crore. But it's the health sector which is of course a little bit of concern at roughly just about 89,000 crore. Now, of course, before we wrap up, we want you to have a look at the faces, the grim and the joyous faces of the government and that from the opposition on the budget. That's about it from us on this budget special show. Keep following us on The New Indian.
On your mobile phones, don't forget to subscribe to our channel The New Indian by clicking on the bell icon. Also, follow us on the social media handles on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook and Co.